Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's superhero time, and once again, it is showtime. Hi, guys. Just me. Allow me to shrink myself down. Whoop. I'm Ant-Man. Not really. So earlier today, I popped open a new hero box, a random hero box, and got the most boring of heroes. Hawkeye, Clint Barton. But I have managed to do my objective with him, which I believe I will talk with her. I'll hit 25, and that'll unlock the synergy. I'll go on to Loki, sorry. I will low-key play Loki up to 25 to open up his synergy, and then I'll be opening a new random hero box.
Respect the rank, hero.
Level 25.
Still get better.
Synergy points. So we have now 2 of them. Hawkeye will increase movement speed by 2%, and we have 3% physical damage. We will sell or otherwise get rid of our stuff here. Where's the research guy? I'm going to give it to the research guy. No, that's not bad. Up here somewhere, I think. Research dude. Yeah, over here. That's the enchanter, and that. No, enchanter. Oh, we'll find. We can make do with the enchanter. Let's see. First of all, we've got that. Not as good as the one we've got. Welcome back. Well, they don't have any of the big money stars doing voices for this. They have, voice actors doing the voice acting. My problem with it is why doesn't it have more of Jeremy Renner's kind of attitude? The stoic, quiet competence kind of thing instead of the boasting jerk. And welcome back. This would be what, 16 in a row? 11 in a row? One more than the in a row this morning. Would have been way too expensive to get the big name movie talents to do voice work. That's a lot of emotes. I can use this ring, so I'll use this ring. We will equip that ring. We will drop the armor box in here. We're looking at having to pick up a new stash pretty soon. All right, so that is 2 level 25s. We need now to get Loki to level 25, and then we'll open another random hero. May the gods have mercy upon our souls, but probably not. T. Loki. He needs 9 more levels. And he can now add, he already had Thor, but now he can add Hawkeye. 2% move speed, not a big deal, but nice to have. A lot of people are playing Cyclops for one reason. If you're running around as Hawkeye and another Hawkeye rolls it. Well, the thing is, there is lore behind it. Basically, the cosmos has been all screwed up, and there are multiples of us from every different time zone, which also counts for why you'll see different costumes. For instance, if I were to choose to expend a few of the free but not unlimited money, I could choose to give Loki a quick sex change for other things. That's the Lady Loki costume. You've got Asgard. That's the classic, the one that goes back to the 60s. like me. Siege, the Asgard variant, no jacket. Prisoner costume, and then in a very nice suit. Now, of course, I believe the king of the costumes is Iron Man. And that was where, you know, they made a lot of their money because players like cosmetics. And I am certainly not going to say I'm not one of them. The original goes back to the 60s. Thor and Loki were both created in the early 60s. Let's check and see the Holosim. Born in 69, you're ancient! I am a baby boomer. Oh, you were born in 2000. Well, that's entirely different. You would play Hawkeye, and your name would be Hot Guy. That's probably taken. I don't know that for a fact. And the name is on a per account basis, just so you know. I have defeated 5 enemies. Ooh, look at them all. It's so nice when they line up for you, you know? Got to defeat 10 for this. We've got, what, 34 more seconds to kill more for extra XPs. And 10 seconds left. We can probably get one more, maybe 2. We'll get our goodies. Someone was saying VTube is very expensive. I expect VTubing with a commercially made avatar is going to be very expensive. I'm invisible. Loki, come back. Personally, I think VTubing is a terrible experience for the viewer. It is for me. I can't watch VTubers. I understand, particularly in the case of, say, women who don't want to appear on the internet, I completely understand. Us guys on the internet, yeah, there's a very high proportion of absolute monstrously malignant people on the internet in general. But the objective of communication is to communicate, and if you're trying to communicate with an VTuber, you're delivering less information than a person who has no camera at all. I can watch people with no cameras because I can concentrate on what's being said. But with a VTuber, you have this fake image that moves in unrealistic ways and gives actually less useful information than having no camera on at all. in my opinion. For me. Oh, no. Also, you can't see how incredible I look. Oh, and changing, yeah, voice changing. The only voice changers I've ever heard, which, by the way, again, I understand. I literally can't understand what they're saying. That's definitely a me thing. Format manipulation. I completely understand people who don't want to show their faces. I honestly do. But you lose a lot of human communication because so much human communication is nonverbal. I got my minor was in speech communication. And depending on which study you're paying attention to, the percentages are between 40 and 90% of human communication is nonverbal, which means that, you know, if you're not using body posture and tone of voice and all of those things, you're communicating less effectively. I need to take cover. Hey, I was invisible. If I'm invisible, I shouldn't be targeted anymore by him. And so if you're not going to show your face, you are going to be less effective as a communicator. And if you're going to show a fake face that doesn't accurately represent your face, you're going to be less of a communicator than if you had no face at all. I didn't even see the green Gobby there. I'm sorry, Gobby. I didn't even notice you were ding 17. So my plan right now is to hit to hit 25 with Loki, although I may grow a little bit bored of grinding out another couple 8-7 levels. And may open the box early and we'll get another random hero. Hopefully something a little bit more interesting than Hawkeye. I mean, Hawkeye's not bad, he's just not very interesting. The Crimson Desert. I've watched a little of the play. I don't think I would enjoy the gameplay style. The sort of combo-based gameplay is not something I historically enjoy. It's beautiful. I'm just not sure. I think it's unlikely that it's a game I would enjoy a lot. But we'll wait and see. I'll probably end up getting it, but not for probably years. You know, not until it finally starts showing up on sale, at which point I might go, okay, you know, this was really pretty, and a lot of people really liked it. One thing it does have is that the reviews are all over the place, which to me just says that it is a very divisive game. Some people are going to freaking love it, and some people are just going to hate it. Give me my green bubble, thank you. Where'd he go? Oh, I'm ready. And actually, the fact that it is getting mixed reviews, I actually find kind of a positive thing. Because a lot of times, games that have really good reviews are kind of very similar to a previous game, and they just sort of redone the formula to their own liking, and that can certainly lead to a successful game, but it's not going to lead to a very creative game. Are there two of us here? Only two or three of us? That's a big man-ape. Alright, we got man-ape dead. I'd like to finish him off. It's Mr. Sinister's up. We'll go finish him off. Nice. Give me my XP, please. Thank you. Even among streamers, Crimson Desert is getting mixed reviews. And like I said, I don't think that's a bad thing. Making a game that's not for everyone can lead to a great game. Wolverine keeps following me. Oh my god, I'm being followed by Wolverine. He smells like cigars. And Colossus smells like borscht. Got one of them dead. Well, not dead, of course. I mean, they're not actually the X-Men. They're evil clones. Alright, Wolverine, you're going down. Alright, there went Wolverine. This heroism is intoxicating. Much to everyone's surprise, it turns out Loki likes being a hero. And down goes Mr. Sinister. Do you think that's his real name? Because you think, like in high school, someone might have, got him some counseling or something, and his name was actually Mr. Sinister. It's probably not. His actual name's probably David Sinister. Oh, Spirit. We love XP. We love our XP. We've got to keep our XP.
Yes, I have been spending a lot of time in the lab.
Well, you're a scientist. That's where you're supposed to spend your time. Hank? Not clear on the concept, are you, Hank? Let's see. We want to change our team-up hero to Jessica Jones, who I understand is like the best for soloing because she tanks and also has an ability that pulls in batches of mobs. Oh, that's right. I wanted to actually change my hotbar. Powers. Let's see. Bouncing bolt, maybe? Or ranged? Yeah, I think so. And we wanted to move Lay Waste to there. And Otherworldly Blast to there. And then drop Graham there. Right. Got it. Nathaniel Essex, that's right. I remember that. I would never remember it on my own. Unfortunately, I have, well, you guys. When I started playing this, I was not particularly Marvel savvy. So I looked up a whole lot of stuff about Marvel because I just didn't know. Now, funnily enough, about Google, I've got friends who either work there or have worked there in the past. And I just shared with them, like half an hour ago, that this game has one of the flunkies from AIM, after he's defeated, say, I should have stayed at Google. Now, you could have given me 1,000 years to try and come up with Nathaniel Essex, and I would not. But hearing it, yeah, immediately. We've got bosses. Where are the bosses at? It helps if you actually press the right button. For those of you not computer savvy, pressing the right button makes things happen correctly. It's a big ask, I know. Behold! I ain't going back in that cell. This has been my living laser impersonation. I hope you enjoyed it. One thing that grinds your gears about Google is Google Voice. Need a phone to make a phone. Excuse me? One of my Googlers is one of the primary guys in charge of Google Phone. I shouldn't have stood there. I saw he was coming. I saw he was coming. And yet I stood there. Do you mean you need a physical phone to make a logical phone? God, I almost flew right in and got leveled by him again. That would have been unwise. But I hit you with my big sword. That was not a euphemism, it's an actual sword. Level 18. 7 more to go, and we will open up a new random character box. Get moving. I thought we'd finished you off, Living Laser. Oops, move. When Juggernaut or Rhino has their tell that they're about to charge, you do not want to be anywhere around. Immediately exit the area so you don't accidentally, say, get eaten by just the edge of his attack. Because it hurts. It hurts. To get SMS and calls to Google Voice, you need to have a cell phone to forward messages to. I don't know enough about the architecture to comment cogently. Oh, well, we obviously should help these poor bad guys find their way home. I don't know, is that... I'm not sure which hero it is, or possibly villain, that is throwing off those big blue beaming things. I know there are similar red sort of things that the Crimson Witch throws off. That's got to be... Yeah, that's the same... Maybe not the same player, but it's definitely the same character that I saw throwing off those particular blue ones earlier. And I know there are red ones that... like I said, that Scarlet Witch throws off. But I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe the exact same character I saw earlier, simply because I don't think that's a standard costume. I think she's wearing one of the store costumes, which a lot of players are doing. This heroism is intoxicating! I don't know who she is. The hero. Or the player. I mean, I could find the player's name and ask, but that seems so... He tried to get away. I wasn't having any of that, though, was I? No, of course not. $18.7 to go. We'll do one more batch of bosses, and then we'll do some storyline stuff. I just blew them up real good. There are still some issues with lag. It's not like dreadful for playing, but you can notice, for instance, picking up an XP bubble, you may have to try it multiple times. Oop, take cover, I'm working on it. I mean, Bullseye's annoying, but with like Rhino and oh, I'm stuck. I didn't move. Yep. I must have used my all of my movement charges because I could not get out of his line of sight. Or maybe I got rooted. Might have gotten rooted. That's why I don't like Bullseye. Is that you often will need... Alright, I got Rhino'd. Am I the only person doing this? I seem to be the only person doing this. And taking on multiple bosses solo is, no bueno. As we Asgardians say, it's no bueno. That is a follow from Alien Bow, or Alien Bow. Please feel free to correct me. In the unlikely, indeed almost impossible circumstance that I just mispronounced your name, I have a spiel. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow.
A couple of these haven't even been patented yet.
Let me drop those off with Hank. And let's head back to the story, I think. Where were we? Missions. Not account missions, character missions. Shocker Unchained is where we were. Shocker Unchained? Fine, we'll go upstairs. We'll use the NPC who knows where we're going next. Used to live in Midtown in the live version of the game. Yep, me too. Starting from scratch, funnily enough. Going after Shocker yourself. Isn't it really, really freaking great having the game back? Is it the greatest game ever? No. Did I have all of the characters unlocked and at the cap when they shut down the servers? Maybe. It's a great check your brain at the door and just blast type of game. All right, where's Lieutenant Higgins? Where's Higgy Baby? That's an old guy television reference. None of you kids today would get that joke or reference. What do we have? It's Bajillion Entertainment. Let's go in. Been tracking Tahiti for a bit. I started playing, and actually, I think at the .2 release. And I started not actually playing on any of the other servers, running the server locally. And I think it's great that the local server, if that's something you want, is available. Did we, is that everybody? Did we get everybody? Stark, and you forgot to close the hen house. That's not a statement I have ever heard in chat before. I'm guessing in this particular case you've been busy thwarting evil. This is why you have David Brevik on your Steam friends list. If you're not aware of it, his wife streams sometimes, and she's the Jungle Queen is her Twitch handle. And frequently, David, at least in the past, would sit alongside her and was more than happy to answer questions and stuff. Yep, Jungle Queen. She was on playing Grim Dawn the other day. She's been on twice lately. She also was on for the Twitch Next Fest as the game she's currently working on with other people, which is not Monster Train. Doom Train is the game she's currently working on. And so she was streaming Doom Train. I also did try that during the Next Fest, and it has promise. Particularly if you are a fan of the combo platter of tower defense and city building, as it's sort of a combo of both of those. She's delightful. I would watch her game. Well, I did watch her game, even with no David around. She booted Marvel Heroes recently herself for a few minutes. That doesn't surprise me. I chatted with her about that and, said I assume David is pleased that it's back in existence again. Unsurprisingly, he is. I have no idea of what contractually he may or may not be able to say as regards the game. He may still have some contractual obligations to Gazillion, even though they're now part of Tryon, which is part of Gamago. And so he may not be able to say anything about it at all. Perhaps even for fear of waking up the terrible demon that is Disney's legal. I will point out, for anyone questioning it, that emulated software is protected in U.S. law. The Phoenix BIOS decision shows that what's the word? Clean room reverse engineering is legal. However, if Disney unleashed the lawyers, it wouldn't matter that it was legal. Yes, if you're an ArcAge player, I would not be I would be surprised if you didn't hate them, frankly. I played a little bit of ArcAge. I was never a huge fan, but I do understand what it's like when the new guys spoil a game that matters to you. I have been through that a time or two. Played since launch till it closed. Play on a private server for that one as well. I currently have private servers installed for a number of games, but they're all dead games, or theoretically they're dead games, not dead now. City of Heroes, which has been licensed now by NC Soft, so that one's completely legit in the case of the Homecoming servers. Yep. City of Heroes, Warhammer Age of Reckoning. I have 4 or 5 different emulators for Star Wars Galaxies right now, and there's something else I'm forgetting as well. At least one I'm forgetting, if not more. I personally am not comfortable playing a game that's still alive on a private server, But if the game is dead, I have no qualms whatsoever. Zero. I don't blame anyone who chooses to do so. I don't think that's a ethical or moral or legal failing. I'm just not comfortable with it, personally. The husband closed the chickens. It's not every day that you have a man who's willing to play with any number of hens and or cocks. I had to make a dick joke. I apologize. Wasn't a good one. Really wasn't worth the effort, but I think by nature and nurture, I am required to make dick jokes when I can. Couldn't keep up with another MMO. I probably have 8 or 10 installed. Ah! Aha! That'll teach me to assume. What's the old thing? Never assume. It makes an ass of you and me, or in this case, just me. Now, you see, you have Guy in your name, which normally most people would think is a clue, but this is the internet. I have been wrong on the gender of any number of people I have gamed with it, and was then surprised when I heard their voice on Discord, because their character, or I should say their Discord handle is a male or female name, and their voices are not. The internet loves to mess with our assumptions. And an old guy, I am pretty old-fashioned in my assumptions. And sometimes in my reactions. But I know there's an enormous difference between behaving the way one grew up and knowing that it's wrong. And so I have occasionally had to make apologies because my initial instinct is a 65-year-old middle-class white guy. And the world, thankfully, ain't that anymore. Why are you shooting at me, guys? Seriously. It's kind of annoying. Some people do. Some people very much do. And again, my sensibilities and whatnot are still programmed by my upbringing all of those years ago. So my brain sometimes says and does things without thinking. But that is kind of human. And contrary to popular belief, I am actually a human being. Yeah. Well, that's just natural. The only person I want telling good jokes in my stream is me. Sadly, most of my jokes, not that great. The exception being if someone lands a really good joke at my expense. Those ones I like. Felt okay to me, dude. I must gather my wits. No, I don't need to gather my wits. I need to get some energy back. I need spirit. Yes, I do. I need spirit. How about you? God, I'm old. Man, I am old. That's why you're a drunk wine cork now? Drunk? You're a drunk wine cork? As drunk as a wine cork? You say all the jokes and get away with them. I myself, I would never be drunk on wine. For me, it's vodka. And that's usually about once or twice a month. On stream, because everyone likes a drunk stream. Ah, your V-tube is a wine cork. Does it have a moving mouth and eyes and stuff? Because that's starting to get onto the creepy side. Although maybe the ones that are human faces bug me. And actually, I find less communicative than no face at all. I have an itch. Pardon me. Oh. Ah. Oh. Okay. Better. I hope no one tuned in right in the middle of my scratching my back like that. Note to self, swallow through the proper channel. What happened with what? I swallowed coffee down the wrong tube, if that's what you're talking about, but probably not. As much as I like my current S command, which is Spirits of the Dead, it brings this purple automatic firing beam over my head, ball over my head. Oh, no, I have no back scratcher. I scooted my butt down to get my back over the back of my chair and then made the appropriate back scratchy noises of ooh and ah. Little bit of lag occasionally, but you can see the purple ball floating over my head that's firing off shots. I love the visual on it. I like the fire and forget nature of it, that it shoots on its own. I don't have to press more buttons. I just don't think it does much damage. Doc Ock.
Your memory ends now.
Octopus Octopus. Pretty sure that's what it stands for, right? Got him. Hi, Clea. We'll vacuum those up, even though we don't have a pet. I should probably use the pet that I have. Loki's one of the characters I'm going to probably be playing long term. I enjoyed him back in the proverbial day.
Just thought I'd mention the fact that you may see a lot of you around here. That's a big part of why we're after talent. Something seems to be playing jump rope with the fabric of reality.
Good to see you here.
Level 20. Okay, 5 more, and we will have get access to adding another synergy, and I'll be popping open another box for a random hero. Is that one better? 7% XP is better, even though it's lower quality. It's better. 9 XP, it's better than 7 XP. That's just math, guys. I like math. It's the key to the universe, kids. All right, see if we can get the Asgardian Enchanter up another level. If it blinks and the mouth moves, it's cartoony. If it's cartoony enough, the problem is like a lot of people, I'm a second monitor Twitch viewer while I'm playing games. And we have them talking, and I have movement. And the repetitive movement, especially on the lower quality VTube personas, is basically just a repetitive movement of eyes and mouth. And it's very distracting because it is repetitive. And for me, repetitive stuff catches my attention. An actual person talking, waving their hands like a crazy person, say like this, I find, because that is fitting the noises I'm hearing from their mouths, that I do not find distracting at all. But a repetitive, same or similar movement that is not actually coordinated with the human being, I find distracting. Okay, if you ever played it live, you can still download it from Steam. I'm certain there are places you can download it and find instructions. I don't know what they are. And I'm not using that as a dodge. I, honest to God, don't know. Because I haven't had to check, because I played when it was live. To get the information for connecting and the servers, there are 2 servers going. The one that I'm playing on, the other one is, this one is Tahiti, and that is mhtahiti.com. The other one, I think, is Council of Ancestors, I think. It is COA. And that one has a higher XP and higher loot. But as for the client, I'm certain it's out there, but I don't know where. Unless you had it on Steam. But I would feel safe in saying that if you Google around or check the Discords and or the websites, you can find a place where you can get it, but I don't know where that is. Sorry.
Get ready to pull some heat.
I haven't put in any real effort to try and find out. Also, other streamers who are playing the game are likely old-timers like me, and they're probably going to have access to the Steam client, but they may have done more research on it than I have. So I'm sorry I can't actually be helpful. Not that that's particularly news, me being helpful. That's pretty rare. But I tried. So I don't actually have any useful information for that. Now I feel useless again. Yeah, I doubt I would find it creepy, although if I found it creepy, that would actually probably be good. But what I would do is I would find it difficult to watch as second monitor fare. As certain visual things just really, they scratch at the back of my brain in a not pleasing way. For instance, in a game like this, any sort of in-game notifications that drop a flag on the screen, those drive me crazy. I have to remove them immediately because their mere existence bugs me because I'm mental. And here comes the best cinematic, so I'm going to shut up. Yeah, that would. Oh, this is AIM. It's not. We're not to the Taskmaster yet. Yeah, that would. I absolutely understand the attraction for a creator, though. The actual entertainment value that exists in sort of intentionally not being one of those high fidelity models, which generally bug me every bit as much, because they're just not good impersonations of a person. Well, that was not especially helpful. Hi! Hello? I'm sorry, were you using that face? Yeah, I can imagine it being charming. If, for instance, I would expect that if I were watching as main screen entertainment, I don't think it would bother me at all. But the peripheral vision thing just drives me nuts. Nice green balls. Purple balls. I'm guessing in real life, purple balls, probably not great. But I don't know that for sure. Maybe they're grape flavored. With a cam, you get a ton of social questions. Yeah. Yeah, I completely understand people who don't want the cam. Totally get it. It can be extraordinarily intimidating for a lot of people. Now, someone like me who's kind of naturally a ham, it's no problem at all. Years of competitive public speaking in college made me not afraid of public speaking. So being a blabby jerk is a plus for streaming. I mean, I'm naturally blabby when when I'm home alone, I am still the same way. And yes, that really does make me sound a little strange, but I talk to myself when I'm home alone. Honestly, really do. One of my first pieces of advice to people who ask, maybe a dozen times, I've had people ask, I'm interested in streaming. Do you have any advice? And one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give for a new streamer is most people aren't naturally comfortable in front of a camera or talking with a mic or any of that. And so the advice I always give is while you're playing and not streaming. Oh wow, we won. While you're playing and not streaming, pretend you're streaming and keep talking. That getting the ability to keep blabbing mindlessly while you're streaming isn't just a positive, it's almost a necessity. Because when you start, somebody tunes into your stream and they watch for 30 seconds and nobody says a thing. Odds are they're tuning out. No, not that way. And so I think it's a big advantage being able to carry on a patter, whether anyone else is around or not. I'll let you guys enjoy this while I refill my coffee cup. I'll be right back.
Criminal intrigue, but a lack of skills to make that dream come true. Do the voices inside your head tell you that you were meant for something more? Do you sit there day after day, seething with the need for revenge, but don't know how to get it? Then the Taskmaster Institute is for you. Here at the Institute, we train you for a life of power and skill. You'll learn 7 different styles of martial arts. And many forms of advanced weaponry. If you are smart enough to find me, you are smart enough to learn the lessons I can teach you. The Taskmaster Institute, when you positively, absolutely know you were meant for something more.
I am back, and this poor guy has been beating on me for 2 minutes, and I take one swing and he's down. Why is there a big globe of weirdness there? Don't know. I have to be careful. My back is feeling it a little bit today. If you've ever had back problems, you know that that's not something you want to mess with at all. So if it starts bugging me any significant amount, I would be ending the stream, but I'm feeling fine right now. And now it's the Taskmaster Institute. 1860, got kill. Legendary quest. Eternity Splinters. The Institute animation. That's just one of the things from, I remember from launch, just absolutely busting me up when I first saw it. So much so that I had to, I think they had it on, they released it to the YouTube back then. And I freeze framed through it to read that whole list that goes flying by on the right hand side of the screen, because I wanted to know what the hell was there. And that was obvious. They spent, they had a couple guys on a Friday evening. They've had a long week at Gazillion and say, hey, let's come up with a bunch of weird ass bullshit we can have the Institute teach people. Well, that is sort of the animation they have here. They don't have a lot of really complicated stuff. They've got some nice art. But it's mostly sort of paper cutout degree of difficulty. Oh, he's not. We get there from here? Do you mind? I'm trying to get to your boss. I have to speak to your boss. I am a superhero Karen, and I need to speak to your supervisor. Yeah, that is a stylistic choice, as opposed to a shrug of I don't care. How about we hit you with a sword? A bunch. Oh, my spirit is gone. Down goes the Taskmaster. Oh yeah, 21. That's a lot of health, but we'd give up a lot of intelligence, about which I can only say, huh? All right, back after the hood.
I am unimpressed by your parlor tricks, magic.
So either when Loki here gets to level 25, or sooner if I feel like it, I will be opening another random hero box for another random hero. I opened one earlier today on stream, and I got maybe the most boring hero in all of Marvel Heroes, Hawkeye, whose special abilities include shoot arrow, shoot different arrow, shoot another different arrow, shoot several arrows, and shoot a whole bunch of arrows. He's not bad, he's just not interesting. So presumably then, if I don't want another uninteresting one, instead the game will give me a bad one. Now, when the game was live, I had all the characters at level 60. All 60, 70, however many it was. And I had a few of them prestiged. You can prestige a character in the game by resetting them, getting them to 60, resetting them to level 1, and then leveling them all the way up again. And every time you do that, you change the color of your name. Right here, you can see my name, Lens, is in white. Yep, prestige. A friend of mine who has started playing again, I'm hoping, tonight. I know he downloaded. He had prestiged one character all the way out to Cosmic Prestige, which took like 12 prestiging iterations, something like that. And his choice for this was inexplicably Squirrel Girl. There's no accounting for taste. Sorry, Hollow. Maybe going after Kingpin. Excellent. On the way there, do say hi to Elektra for me. I think she's kind of sweet on me. Or possibly wants to kill me. It's hard to tell with her. Ding 22. We need 3 more levels and then random hero time.
I've been looking forward to this.
I've been looking forward to this. I wasn't really surprised, dude. I gotta say, no offense. I mean, it's nice that you went through the effort to get ready for me to drop in, but it wasn't much of a surprise. You're a bad guy. You're going to do bad guy things. That's the way you work. I know. I get that. More Eternity Splinters.
I believe we are finished here.
I believe we are finished here. Back to the Avengers Tower. Hey, fat buddy. When?
Don't make me regret this conversation.
Don't make me say it again.
I'd almost forgotten how fascinating.
You could sort of divide up the characters into 4 batches. Because I had all the characters, as I said, at max level. The XP. No XP. So there are the ones that I played all the time. There are the ones that I played a lot. There are those that I played sometimes. And there were those that I got to level 60 and I basically never played. I'm certain that's what we're getting. I don't know that for a fact, and yet still, I'm certain that's what we're getting.
Will this be masked or unmasked?
Did we get another skill? We did. Illusionary projection. Ooh, arcane binding. Mental damage. Asgardian light. More mental damage. I do like me some mental damage. Let's see. That's not an enormous amount of damage. Duration for 20 seconds. Oh, and that's the one you use with Graham to really nail people to the wall with the sword. Now that'll go in. As much as I enjoyed the look of Spirits of the Dead and the way it works, it just didn't hit very hard.
Your tail will make a fine collar raccoon.
Let's see, Lay Waste is currently doing so much mental damage. Yeah, I just can't. If I need immobilizes, yeah, okay. And that's 32. We get our first, yeah, at 32 we get our first row that we can choose a buff.
Get ready to pull some G's.
I'm going to pull some G's, which really sounds smutty. What are you doing? Leave me alone, I'm pulling G's. Yeah, that was another dick joke. And now we start wailing on him with our sword, which does big damages, and then we kill him. Sorry, we don't kill, of course. I'm a hero now, you know. I no longer kill. I simply wound severely. Cripple, when I can, you know. Uru Forged. Like Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. That's a bit much. Missed it. Oh, missed the dick joke? Yeah, it wasn't much. Yeah, we had an NPC talk to us, say, hey, we're going to be pulling G's. And then my joke was, yeah, I've been known to pull G's occasionally. And then, leave me alone, I'm pulling my G's. See? It's the easiest joke in the world for a guy. It's just fall back on dick jokes. As Kevin Smith pointed out in Chasing Amy, love those dick and fart jokes. Ba-dum-bump. Fart jokes indeed do stink. Kind of definitionally, I suppose. Oh, there's an awful lot of people here, and some of them seem to be angry at me. I have no idea why. I never did anything to them, you know, other than kill a bunch of them and turn some of them into ice, and, you know. But come on. That's just a regular Friday night around here. Saturday night. You know what I mean. Sit down, guys. Thank you. There is a bit of lag, so killing everything. Oh, sorry, not killing, obviously. I'm Loki, but I'm doing the hero thing now. I don't do the violence for violence's sake anymore. It's just not me, you know? Do not stand where all of the unpleasant lines intersect, Lens. Are you, like, stupid? Maybe I shouldn't ask that question. I might get an answer that I did not like. I'm the hero now. I will let them out of their prisons. I'm pretty sure I didn't put them in there, so it's fine. Grim Reaper is a villain I still know nothing about, and I know I've read his Wikipedia page. I knew nothing about a whole boatload of the Marvel Heroes characters. Until I started playing this game, and it's like, okay, I've got this hero I've never heard of before. I'm fighting this villain I've never heard of before. Maybe I could learn a thing or two about them? Level 23, 2 more levels, and we will be opening the random box of hero. Also the box of random heroes. It's complicated. And that will be a random hero unlock for the account. I went back in. I didn't want to go back in. I clicked too quick. Don't be like me. Don't be a quick clicker. Because they changed the version of villains they use later on down the line. The version you fight doesn't always match the version in the motion comic. That's true. Yep. Damn it. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Oops, sorry. I was channeling Thor. Got the wrong brother. Not my fault. It's not my fault. And it does not offer XP, therefore we do not equip it. We are not interested in any catalyst that does not increase our XP. For instance, a lot of people are choosing to play Cyclops because at level 50, Cyclops offers a 10% XP bonus. They don't particularly necessarily like Cyclops, but 10% XP is 10% XP. And since there's also XP for every character who reaches level 60, sort of there's this multiplicative effect of things that give XP in the game. Defend Clea and destroy the cairns. While I'm destroying the cairns, I assume she can guard herself. She's, after all, she's Doctor Strange's chick, you know. So you just fought Doc Ock, and the version in the comic had the belt visible and the arms at the waist, and the one you fought didn't have the belt visible. Yep. You get a lot of sort of weird because, well, it's the multiverse is sort of collapsing right now is kind of the lore bit. So, yeah. We done, Clea, here? Be warned, the Ngarai are sending their strongest warriors, are they? Really? That's, where are they? Clea? Clea? Might use Cyclops next. Haven't decided. If you do, you're getting his 90s outfit because the Jim Lee version of the X-Men were peak. I was never a huge superhero comic book guy. I was big on science fiction and fantasy comics. My brother did more of the superhero stuff, and his was more of the magical based. So I read his, obviously, because, hey, they were free. So a lot of Doctor Strange, Adam Warlock. The barrier's complete and all is as it should be. That's nice for us. Liked it all, fantasy, sci-fi, comics, gaming. Well, I have a story about how I got into, well, computer gaming and fantasy gaming, and it involves a very unlikely source. Like, I wouldn't be streaming if not for Playboy magazine. So when I'm like 13 years old, or thereabouts, I'm reading my dad's Playboy. And yes, I'm actually reading it. Playboy actually had some really good writers. Ray Bradbury wrote. They had good interviews. I remember the interview with Mel Brooks was hilarious. Star Citizen because of Firefly and wanting to fly like Wash and Captain like Mel. Very nice. That's a good inspiration for sure. So I'm reading, I really honestly was reading Playboy. And in the back, they used to have this little section on facing pages where it had little boxes with like cool things for guys. And one time I'm reading that and they mention a miniatures figure company named Minifigs in the UK, which makes lead soldiers for board wargaming, and I was a board wargamer. But they also had Lord of the Rings figures, and I was a Lord of the Rings lunatic. And so I immediately order the catalog, get the catalog, order like $30 worth of the figures, as much as I could afford, and get like their full catalog, right? And in it, there is description of a game called Chainmail from Tactical Studies Rules that you could use to play medieval battles with miniatures, but it also had rules for fantasy figures. So I order Chainmail, and in the back of Chainmail, they have a list of their other products, and their other products include a game called Dungeons and Dragons. So in either late 75 or 74, late 74 or early 75, I get second printing first edition Dungeons and Dragons. And that was the real start of my descent into this madness. I don't want to fight the Gorgon. So that is how Playboy led me to Dungeons and Dragons, more computer games, internet games, MMORPGs, and eventually streaming. This has been my TED Talk. So it is, in fact, not an exaggeration for me to say the reason you're watching me now, or that you can watch me now, is because of softcore pornography. MTG, oh, yep, Magic. I got into Magic in Revised. Some of my friends were in sooner, but I wasn't able to find the cards. Lone Star Wolf, good evening. Welcome back. Yeah, WotC and Hasbro don't get my money anymore. Yeah, the Open Gaming License was a disastrous choice by them. And how Chris Cox still has a job, I do not understand. Born in 91, you're able to get in on the ground floor, didn't get into D&D until 3rd ed. Well, before the 3rd ed, there were before AD&D, I think the last edition were the red box and the blue box. And before them, there was the white box. And before them was the original fake brown wood grain box. So many jokes. And I had the fake wood grain box. I think I was first printing first edition of Greyhawk, which was the first expansion to D&D. That's the one that brought in Thief. You just made... Oh, you jokes about Cox? Yeah. I'm sure he's heard them all. Still, he should hear more of them. Made AC so much better with a flat number to hit. Do you mean Thaco? Sorry. No, when I was first playing, it was Armor Class 9 was no armor. Armor Class 2 was plate and shield. So it was cloth armor, shield. That's 3. Sorry. Armor Class 9. Cloth armor. With shield, 8 armor. Leather, 7. Leather with shield, 6. Chain, 5. Chain and shield, 4. Plate, 3. Plate and shield, 2. There were 3 statistics. 4 of them almost did nothing. Sorry, there were 6 statistics. 4 of them did almost nothing. I just felt he had to be bludgeoned into a painful submission. Seriously? Behold a new world order? You're gonna go with that? Defeat the Hydra Marine veterans. Where are they? Well, there's that guy. Looks like a Marine veteran, doesn't he? Oh, I've got to defeat 12 of them? That's actually rather a lot. Oh, now we got to defeat the hand. We have broken the server. There we go. It's working again, everyone. Relax. I fixed it. Marine champions? Are you kidding me? More? If I had realized this was going to take this long, I would not have gotten involved in this at all. Champion of Madripoor. I'm the champion of Madripoor, and all I got was this lousy achieve. I will not be beat by the hand this evening. Oh, I don't know. Here's your joke. Thank you for setting it up. The hand has beaten me many, many times over the years. Thank you for the setup. I appreciate that. Not everyone is that generous. Docs must have changed. You remember being a lot more open? That's not the docks. That's Madripoor. Or are you saying about your experience that you're having right now? Not that way. How about this way? Okay, yeah, this way. Okay, this way. I tell you, flying isn't all it's cracked up to be all the time. Thank you. The Santa Claus icon, spot on the nosy. Also, congratulations, I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Thank you, guys. I generally hold that my streams are better and I'm a better streamer when I have an active chat, and that is thanks to you guys. So thank you. Your experience. You just got to the Jersey docks. Maybe you're thinking more endgame, with Tombstone being the occasional world boss. Might be the higher tiers. Because you can always go to the higher tiers. For instance, if you're going to do the Shield Holo thing, that you have to be red tier for. And that you have to set on the display at the waypoints. Boots with some movement speed, a boatload of health, sure. I like boatloads of health, and I cannot lie. Shield motion detector. More crafting materials. More XP boosts. Always welcome. We like XP boosts and we cannot lie. Actually, we can lie. I lie a lot. But I usually either lie and then admit it, or I lie in such an outrageously obvious fashion that ain't nobody falling for that. So we have about, what, 70% of a level to go. That'll get us to 25. We'll unlock the next symbiosis, and then we will roll our next random hero unlock. May the gods have mercy upon my soul. God say no. Stupid gods. I'm just kidding, of course. We're looking for the Muramasa blade. So we'll just fly over here in this general direction. Well, gosh, I wonder what's up here. Oh, look. Shards of the Muramasa blade. A relic of Subterranea. Is that Kurt Wagner? I think it is. The Princess Bar. Oh, I don't want to fight Madam Hydra. Yeah. Everyone knows that I was reading the articles. I told you about how I was reading the articles. I remember specifically the interview with Ray Bradbury that I wanted to read because I read science fiction. And particularly like the interview with Mel Brooks was pretty hilarious. NGO. Believe it or not, Mel Brooks, kind of a funny guy. Yes. And more crafting mats. I even wrote a blog about it. Back when Guild Wars 2 was in its beta stage, to give you an exact time that this all occurred, I wrote a blog for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months, 3 times a week. Magnifying lens on MMOs. I'm sure you can Google it if you really need help in getting to sleep. And I talked about it in there. The most interesting thing I think about that blog, or those blogs, was it was kind of a heyday in MMOs. Guild Wars 2 was in beta, so was The Secret World. And there were a whole lot of other games being worked on. You know, people throw around the golden age kind of references to things. And I certainly wouldn't say it was the golden age, but it was a very cool time with a whole lot of MMOs in the works. Orders from the hand. You're like something out of a comic book, Mr. Handman. Pull this up, and Playboy is mentioned. Dear God, you may be the first person to look at those other than me in the last 12 years. Yeah, I, honest to God, gave credit to Playboy, because the way I got into gaming as a whole was kind of strange. I think it's funny. Yeah. And Guild Wars 2 is an interesting case for me. Because I had Guild Wars, and it hadn't grabbed me, right? And then I saw they were talking about big fights with dragons, and my response was, I am so fucking sick of fantasy games with dragons, I'm not interested. And I still feel that way, by the way. I am sick of fantasy games with elves, dwarves, and fucking dragons. The exception being Lord of the Rings Online. They invented it, they get to keep using it. As far as I'm concerned, that's fine. But the rest of it I'm still sick of. Anyway, so I wasn't interested in Guild Wars 2 until I saw, I believe at Gamescom, they premiered the fight with Tequatl with like 50 people playing at the same time. And I saw 50 human characters running around fighting an enormous dragon with this complicated event and everything, and I went, sold. It changed my mind. Well, Latro's Balrog, because I am a right-thinking person, it has wings and it shouldn't. I understand that this is a matter of some contention, and anyone who contends that they have wings is wrong. Because in the book, it says Shadow was about him like wings, and that's level 25. So I'll finish up fighting through this, and then we'll open up the next character. But you wouldn't say Shadow was about him like wings if he actually had wings. Also, the bridge is described as narrow and without curb or rail. I think it even says like something like it's not big enough for multiple people, you have to go single file, something like that. So a really big creature with shadow wings going to wall, being able to step out on a narrow little bridge without curb or rail just doesn't make sense. This has been my TED Talk. Does a giant crocodile count as a dragon? Well, Tolkien had worms. Now, worms were essentially dragons that couldn't fly. He also had cold drakes. I always assumed, and I don't know if it's in the lore anywhere, that was like the basis for D&D, cold dragons being able to breathe cold. My opinion on cold drakes is that they're called cold because they can't breathe fire, not because they can breathe cold instead. I don't know if that's actually canon. That's one of the few things about Lord of the Rings I don't actually have a reference for. Wings or no wings sounds like a war for which you'll just watch and eat popcorn. That's a very good choice, Senegal. How you doing? Rotoscope, Latro animation, big fan of that Gandalf punking the hobbits right before he leaves to consult Saruman. They did so much right in Latro. They really, really did. I have my issues with where they have gone, but overall, the game has always been respectful to the lore, and that's really all I want. It doesn't have to be loyal because it's a game, but it has to be respectful. And Latro has always been respectful. Hey, why aren't you dead, dude? You're not supposed to heal. Not cool, man. Not cool. Stop it. Die. There we go. And now we'll just start wailing on Electra with my big stick. Don't say it. Be honored by my attention.
Remember, if this is the time I get to finally keep this.
When you talk about the rotoscope Lord of the Ring animation, are you talking about the original animated one by Ralph Bakshi?
I used to be a real pilot.
Because the biggest public laugh I ever got was after the lead poisoning. Oh, yeah. They're terrible, aren't they? Those old minifigs, Lord of the Rings miniatures are dreadful. Anyone who's played D&D with nice figures would look at those and go, oh my God, why did they leave them out in the sun so long?
No, you can't be serious.
Oh yes, one more annoying obstacle to overcome.
Yep, that is the Ralph Bakshi one. So I stood in line for opening night in Berkeley. And talk about, the crowd was college kid geeks, right? And so we're watching, and it's quiet because we're all paying attention. And they get away from the Dweller in the Deep at the gates of Moria. And, they hold up a torch, and it's dark. And I go out loud, you see a 10-foot wide corridor headed to the east. Which way do you go? And the whole place busts up. Apparently, everyone in the place was a D&D-er. Mounted wizard horse number M1. Why is he holding a pepperoni? Pepperoni's tasty. Come on. Like you don't like pepperoni. Fess up. But you're not wrong. Yeah, they're terrible. They are dreadful figures.
What you be interested in today?
Well, it's that time. It is time that we're going to say farewell, for now, to Loki. We have the synergies up. Let's see. No. P? Yeah. The synergy system. So Loki hit level 25, which means all the rest of my characters will now have plus 5% damage to slowed targets. So we have Loki and we have Thor, who's giving plus 3% physical damage. And we have Hawkeye, who's giving 2% move speed.
You play the Heroes Synergies, but inside you're terrified.
But we have a random hero unlock. It's going to be a random one, boys and girls. Here's the list, if you're not familiar with it. From Angela all the way down to X23. As I said earlier, there are like 4 categories. There are the heroes I played all the time, the ones I played a fair amount, the ones I played occasionally, and the ones I got to level 60 and then basically never played again. Here we go. It is Iron Man. That's a he shoots, he scores. That's a one I played a lot. We have unlocked Iron Man. We will switch to Iron Man. And we will immediately grab the synergies. They're not particularly great synergies, but a little bonus is better than no bonus at all. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are playing Cyclops with their first hero because he gets a plus 10% bonus XP when you hit level 50. So a lot of people who don't want to play Cyclops are playing Cyclops to get him up to level 50 for the synergies. That was a really good pull. I'm very pleased with that. Iron Man is one I would have considered spending the currency for. Iron Man's, by the way, when we get it, is ranged power damage and energy damage. You get one at 25 and one at 50. Let us go to the prologue and get this party started. That was a really good pull. I'm very pleased with that one. I'm going to take just a second and drop my AC by a degree of time. I'm all hot and bothered.
Welcome to the raft, Earth's most secure prison. Until now. Here's the secret. The raft is under attack by Hydra, and supervillains are escaping from your sides. We need your help to stop the breakout.
Ah, yes. The micro missiles is a lovely, fun ability. For me, I don't think they enjoy it as much as I do. Level 2. Just that fast. Hot and bothered? Must have read a good article. Aha, very nice. Do they even print Playboy anymore? I have no idea. We now have S for voltaic punch. Why would I want to punch people? Systems activated. Hi! I really like the animation on that skill. It's really cool. Really nicely done. Oh, look at the show off. I don't even have flying yet, but I have hovering, evidently. So it turns out if you're in a big metal suit and you punch someone in the head, it hurts. They did a 2025. I have my querying face on as I query what you mean. I'm not understanding the reference. And how about living laser? I'm just going to face tank it. Got him.
Good work taking down living laser.
Thank you.
No wonder Fury speaks so highly of you.
Printing them. Oh, printing them. Got it. Yeah, sometimes I don't get things the first time. Oh, which belt do we want? The one with more health, obviously. You were answering my question. One thing that will often happen with me is my mouth. The sub-processor in my mouth will say something and my brain is not paying close enough attention. Level 3. And so I will ask, what are you talking about? Because I literally don't remember what I just said. Yeah, you see? It's just, Playboy was cooler in the mid-70s. What can I say? Get better camera if you turn on enable custom max camera distance on the video settings. You mean in-game? I mean, I wasn't scrolled all the way out. Way better view. Thank you, Maria. Can't you see I'm talking to somebody here? God, she's just so intrusive. Options. Enable custom max camera distance on the video settings. Enable. 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 Uh-huh. The only problem I can see with it is sometimes I have to click on things, and that's going to be a little tougher for me. But thank you. I'm not sure I'll stick with it, but having it as an option, I definitely approve of. Now, some heroes I don't need to actually click on the bad guys, but some of them I kind of do. You know, some heroes, everything is ranged and area effect and so on. But some of the heroes, you kind of have to be able to accurately click on something. But I'll try it for a while, for sure. And having that as an option, I approve. I will tell my friends who are playing about the option. Better for ranged characters, I expect, than melee characters. Don't have a closest to cursor click. Well, you got to keep in mind, this is, you know, an older game, and they didn't have, for instance, a move-only option, like, say, PoE has now. Where for every skill, you can have it move to make the skill or not. And you can also have click to only move, not make attacks. So for some characters, you definitely want to have click to attack available. Some characters don't need it.
Now what it all goes.
An orb walker, so you love when that's the default in games like this. Certainly, I can get used to things. I did not expect I would want to play WASD movement in PoE 2, but now that I've played WASD, I use it on every character in PoE 2, and I'm pretty sure I could get used to using it in any of the other ARPGs as well. All right, what do our powers look like here? This is the next one, I think. It's 6. Oh, no, it's 4. Okay, Unibeam. I wonder if Tony has a unibrow that goes with it. I know he would shave it, though. He's pretty vain. Arc Reactor Overload area. That's useful for restoring suit power. More endgamey, I would think. Travel to Hell's Kitchen. I'm sorry, this is family friendly. We'll be traveling to Hex Kitchen. Me, a family friendly stream. Yeah, I'm a family friendly stream. That's the good news. The bad news, it's the Manson family.
Mr. Stark.
Thank you for reminding me. My Jessica Jones. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Say, what OS do you have running that suit anyway?
Shut that down hard.
God, it's so long until level 10. Everything feels so slow. I'll look at this. I'll investigate it. Ew. It's venom. Of course it is. I played for years and was completely unaware that this option existed in the game for an even further out view. I'm not paying for that car. Yeah, I'm rich, but I'm not made of money. Okay, actually, you could say I was made of money. The New York Police Department. Welcome to NYPD. Donut Division. I hit the wrong button, please forgive me. Oh. I love the visuals on those missiles. Really nicely done. Channeled attacks. Not a huge fan of those. In my experience, they either have to be like overpowered to make them worth using. How about we power that up and nuke them both? There we go. The Sonics are deactivating all of the various venomites, venomisms, venomoids. I don't know, Tony. Maybe daring Venom to eat anything is maybe not the wisest play. How about some more missiles for you? When you care enough to send the very best, you send micro missiles, obviously.
Next time, stick to fighting heroes.
Don't taunt the supervillain. It's so hard explaining things to him sometimes, you know? I am going to AFK for just a sec. I'm going to rinse out my coffee cup and grab some water. Because if I don't have water, what are I going to drink? Now, that didn't quite work. Almost. You don't have water. What are you going to drink? That worked better. Super dumb. So close. Okay. Brave Mr. Lynn. I should leave up the AFK so Miss T has a job, but I'll remove it this one time. I'm back.
Here's the big one.
That sounded dirty. That is a follow by Swing 8. Hello there. Welcome. I have a spiel for that. Let me finish beating up on this bad person. I'm now level 5.
Is there any more up for me to go?
Which direction we headed? So here is the spiel, more or less. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and sometimes, like right there, complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow.
Shoddy workmanship.
Are you a Marvel Hero enjoyer? I'm going to assume, probably, excellent. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're very pleased with the return of Marvel Heroes. Because I know I am. Yeah, this is my 4th character because that's the way I am, always. More characters, more alts. I have 3 characters at 25 plus. And I just got Iron Man from a random box, and I'm very pleased about that. Got one to get. Yeah, this was my 2nd. Earlier today, I opened Hawkeye. I got him up to 25. Then I finished with Loki. I got Thor up to 25 yesterday. The 2 randoms I've gotten are Hawkeye and Iron Man. I'm going to say Hawkeye is one of the most boring heroes, but Iron Man is one of the ones I wanted. Back when it was live, I think like a lot of players, I had all of the heroes. Yeah, Hawkeye's not bad. He's just boring. I mean, how many different versions of Arrow can a guy have? Hawkeye knows the answer. It's all of them. But he's definitely not bad. Also, I guess he kind of suffers from being one of the starter heroes when the game launched, and they were pretty straightforward, generally speaking. You know, mechanically they were, I don't want to say simple, but less involved. Which sounds an awful lot like simple now that I think about it. Yeah, I mean, I played Hawkeye back in the day. I mean, as I've mentioned previously on stream, the characters were in sort of 4 categories for me. The ones I played all the time, the ones I played a lot, and Iron Man would be one I played a lot, and then the ones I played sometimes. And then the other ones that I leveled up to 60 and basically never played again. Hawkeye would have been the occasion. That's your playstyle, mechanically dull. I can understand that. I mean, my current most played character, the one I play the most currently in Guild Wars 2, is the Mechanist. And it's calling it a one-button build is not entirely accurate, because a one-button build requires you to hit one button a lot. It's more like a press one button once build, and then don't press any more buttons. So yes, I can certainly understand the attraction, the allure, to a straightforward build. Stop dropping rocks on my head, Shocker. It's rude and distinctly unfriendly. Fine, I'll just stand out here. Jessica Jones will keep your attention. Whoops. He keeps hitting me right when I'm about to unleash. I did warn him that bad things were going to happen if he kept doing that. I mean, for sure, Hawkeye is a thematically solid character. He's an archer, and he shoots lots of different kinds of arrows. It makes sense. It's just not sexy. And despite the fact I really have always been a fan of Loki, it's a lot slower, I think, to level Loki than it was the less interesting Hawkeye. To get him up to 25 anyway. You'll excuse me, I am skipping the cinematics. As an actual fat man, I object to them having a villain called Hammerhead Fat Man. Not really, I don't. But I am a fat man. Tony, have you been taking drugs again? The Kingpin has surprisingly good taste. You do realize that's green and pink and purple, right? Loki is one of the ones I've always liked. He's one of the ones I played a lot. He and Thor are ones I played all the time. Iron Man is one I played a lot. I haven't gotten any of the ones yet that I leveled up to 60 and then never played again. But I expect I'm going to get the characters the way I got them previously for the most part, which is randomly. Ding 7.
We get smarter, the world gets smarter.
Yeah, Tony, I'm not sure the world feels the same way, but you go ahead and go with that, all right? All right. All right, I believe it's Doc Ock time.
Your meddling ends now.
My handling ends now. That was almost English. I wasn't mocking you, dude, but I will if you like. It's pretty easy to do. Dr. Moctopus. Got him. Well, well, well. Let's see, we must have some gear to improve our stats and stuffs. And a box. 2 boxes. Catalyst, we'll use that, obviously. Another catalyst. Which one do we want? Suit power? 16 suit power is not that much. But that is, I think, the better one. Hi, Clea.
Do you seek my counsel?
Magicians. Pfft. August 62 was Thor's first appearance. I was 1 year old.
It may see a lot of you around here. That's a big part of why we're after the talent. Something seems to be playing jump rope with the fabric of reality.
The fabric of reality, not that great to begin with. XP Catalyst. We definitely want the XP Catalysts. If we could get an XP Doggalist, that would be good too. I made that up.
How may I be of service?
Hey, somebody cover me.
I am going to hit Midtown.
So what? Black Cat's got sticky fingers. Nobody's perfect.
Challenges, Midtown. The amount of time I have spent in Midtown in this game. Over the years, many is the amount of time. We're at 8, 7. We're at almost 8. Very nearly at 8. Catch Baron von Lind. More Eternity Splinters. They are not shy with the Eternity Splinters, that's for sure. Ding 8. Good time for rogue players? Yeah, it would be. For those who are not familiar with rogue, like the actual characters, she can steal abilities from heroes and villains. And therefore you want to have easy access to the heroes so that you can steal the good abilities from the heroes that have got them. One of the more interesting characters in the game from a design perspective. Basically, every character and villain, I think, in the game has a power that she can steal from them. It's a really cool, interesting game mechanic. Buddy just sent me a text that Afro Man is in our town. Well, he just had a big court victory, so congratulations to him, for damn sure. Catch. He didn't like that. Okay, we've got bad guy sign. That location called the Rustic Frog in New Albany, Indiana. That's not where I would choose to celebrate a victory, but, you know, any place you can have a good time, I guess. Goddamn Bullseye. I really dislike Bullseye. He's a jerk. Also, his one-shot mechanics make him miserable. I need to work on my readbacks. I'm slacking on my readbacks. Fatbody commented that Afro Man is basically in town near him. And Afro Man, if you're not aware of it, just had a recent huge court victory under hilarious circumstances. If you're not familiar with it, he was raided by the police for no good reason. And he then made an album or 2 albums about the raid, including videos from his home surveillance system, where he named and shamed the police, in essence. And the police, whoops, gotta get out, sued for defamation and lost. Rusted Frog used to be a Porky's-style strip club. Now it's just a trashy bar on the way to the casino. Wait, casinos in Indiana? I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's no Vegas. Telling me there's no expectation of privacy when you enter a person's domicile. There's no expectation of privacy from them if they record it from internal surveillance. No. And unless you can prove defamation, in other words, it's not defamation if nobody could possibly believe it was real. And so, for instance, he sang about having sex with one of the police officers' wives repeatedly. And he was asked, and did you actually find that that was believable? And he said, I don't know. So they asked the wife to testify. The Afro Man's team brought in the guy's wife to testify that she had divorced him, but not because of anything to do with Afro Man, but because he was an asshole. Basically, the police made themselves look like absolute idiots. They looked terrible when he first publicized all of the stuff they had done in the raid. And then they look much, much worse when they sued him for defamation. I wouldn't, well, I was going to say I wouldn't recognize Afro Man on the street. If he was dressed the way he did in court, I would recognize him, as all of his clothing was stars and stripes. But I don't think I've ever heard any of his music, but I gotta say, I'm a fan of his now. Yeah, they just looked just fucking terrible.
Have I earned my bloodstones?
All of us would be wise to say we love the police. Mean it or not. I assumed so. But I was also right that we should all say that we do, just in case. Oh, they didn't even have to apologize. They just should have let it just lay, okay? It was embarrassing. Don't start a fight with a guy who's got enough money to fight back legally. That was their mistake. Yeah, we want that. We definitely want that. That's my first helmet. Lenz's first helmet. Okay, Tony's first helmet. Trying to get him on his comedy podcast. I hope he does. The whole thing is just an exercise in hilarity. And Schadenfreude. All right, we need another 2/3 of a level, roughly. And then we'll be able to fly, finally. Really, come on. I can hover. Hovering's not impressive. Even Tony is not impressed by just hovering. That's not bad. Sir. Leave you alone? You were shooting at me! Which one is that? That's Repulsor Blast. Ranged repulsor. I myself am also a repulsor. Or so I've been assured. Dude, I let you go and you don't even drop a goddamn XP bubble? The hell kind of crap is that? Okay, that's better. Event timer. Masters of Evil. Masters of Weevil? No, Evil, sorry. Only 3 bosses? Hardly worth the effort. I knew you now. The difficulty, you don't play ARPGs on these. Difficulty if you can help it. Yeah, there are some of the game activities that can't be done at green difficulty, which is the default. Looks pretty good for its age. It was never like an incredible, great-looking game, but it was performant. You know, at good resolution or at very busy screens, it still performed well, and that was important. Considering, yeah, the non-stop. You get in like a busy Midtown instance. And it's just going to be non-stop visual effects. don't know what that was. Wasn't my attack. That keeps happening where I see a visual that I don't remember being in the game, and I'm going, what hero is that? That looks cool. I think I want that. Well, that sucks. Oh, I was wondering where the third bad guy was. Level 10, I can now fly. Is it Scarlet Witch with the Wiccan skin? Does Scarlet Witch have sort of a... I know she's got a big sort of red chaotic area of effect. Does she also have a blue one? Because that might have been on the Wiccan skin, which would explain why I didn't recognize it. Again, there are a couple of games that have given me, acquainted me with Marvel heroes that I really knew nothing about, and this is one of them. Wiccan's the male version, her son in some cases. Okay. I mean, I know a little about the Wiccan. I know Wiccan is very powerful. Magical character. But now, I can fly. I want to fly away, yeah! Sorry, I was intentionally singing badly. I am a terrible singer, but that was intentional. I think current Wiccan is her son, but yes, there's a reason we have the word retcon in our regular discourse, at least amongst gamers and the like. It's Captain Bien. It was Captain Bien. Now it's Captain Unconsciousness. That's just one of my favorite animations in the game. Is that silly little rocket launch right there. It always looks so cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you using that head? How about some rockets? Oh, come on. I had him selected. I was mousing over him. There was a brainless Marvel game I played. Got a lot of hours in before I realized that it was actually a bad game. It was a match 3 game. You can get it on Steam. I have a lot of hours in it. I don't even remember the name now. Match 3 was mindless, and it took me a while to realize that the actual game design was really solidly bad. Yeah, MPQ. That's it. Marvel Puzzle Quest. It just took me a long time to realize, as a game design wonk, someone who really finds game design interesting, that the base design for the game was not good. I didn't drop much money into it. I think I dropped 20 bucks in. Then I put a lot of time in, so I'm not going to begrudge the money I spent. I got a lot of time out. Am I the only person in this entire freaking Midtown? I must be the only person in the entire freaking Midtown. Okay. I'm gonna go do some storyline. Because killing bad guys, if you're the only person around, takes for freaking ever. Take me back upstairs. But a lot of my Marvel knowledge has come through this game or MPQ and me looking up heroes and bad guys I'd never seen before. I can now fly! Ha ha ha! Ha! Flying is cool. And back out we go. Rather weird quest flow bit there. I'm probably good for another 15 or 20. My back is starting to tighten up a bit, and I definitely don't want to push my luck. Pardon the yawn. Oh, old man yawns a lot. Hey, it's AIM. I should have stayed at Google. One of my favorite voice bits in the game, because I have friends who work at Google. Or have worked. That's not nice, Tony. That guy did some really nifty moonwalking. I wonder if they teach that at AIM. Other than the weird hats, I always actually found AIM to be one of the more interesting of the bad guy groups. Excepting MODOK. I always thought MODOK was kind of a dumb bad guy with a really silly name. Would you guys stop, please? I'm just working here, okay? Ding 11. Alright, I've had it with you little bastards. No, a fellow can only take so much. Marvel heroes think he's silly and dumb as well. He should be terrifying, right? I mean, he's this enormous head floating, nightmarish. He's named MODOK, which is what? Mutated organism or something like that? Designed only for killing? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it depends on the version, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I ever ran into MODOK in the comics. Hey, where is she? Come on. Jess? And I didn't actually see the movie that had him in it, but whoever approved MODOK in the movie should never work in any industry again, because that was embarrassing. Now, I didn't actually see it. I only saw stills. It was one of the Ant-Man films, yeah. I don't know which. Quantum Mania, maybe? But it was hilarious. The actual scary version is the Technopath designed by AIM. Now you're talking. I don't know what it looks like, but that definitely sounds way cooler than a whatever it is, only for killing, designed only for killing. That's one of those what were they thinking kind of things that you occasionally get in comic books. And I mean, I like a nice acronym as much as the next guy, better than most, I would expect. And that's just the worst acronym ever. Mental organism. There we go. Designed only for killing. You know, it should be scary as hell. And the, you know, if the visual is described, right, this shrunken body trying to support this overly large head in what amounts to a flying wheelchair, this utterly debilitated creature with only mental power that has unsurprisingly gone insane. Should be terrifying. Yeah, I thought the M was interchangeable. I went with mutated. I don't think mutated was ever actually one of the things. Hey, you know what time it is? Once again, it's time for the Taskmaster Institute. Yes, I seethe. This is my seething face.
Then the Taskmaster Institute is for you.
Kapow!
Here at the Institute, we train you for a life of power and skill. You'll learn 7
I love the bit on the right-hand side of the screen that goes flying by.
many forms of advanced weaponry. If you are smart enough to find
As I have slowed down the YouTube to watch all the things go by.
Taskmaster Institute,
1860, got kill?
absolutely know you were meant for something more.
Thank you, Jess. Oh, and by the way, thank all you guys for hanging out. Not done yet. Another 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'm going to call it AI over. Oh, appropriately, an AI overview stands for mental organism designed only for killing. My supervillain, often George Tarleton. He is a giant-headed, genetically engineered intelligence designed for warfare, sometimes alternating the M to stand for mobile, mechanized, or originally mental for computing. I approve of that. I mean, I don't approve of, you know, having a horrible mutated figure designed only for killing. I'm not approving of that. I approve of the translation. Yep. People love to crap on AI, but some versions of AI are already really good. The problem isn't with the AI. AI is a tool. Sadly, also a tool. An awful lot of the management implementing things with AI. And that's the kind of thing that LLMs are ideal for. Summaries, stuff like that, incredible resource. Don't like generative, they use stolen work to train it, understandable. AI used to compile and summarize data isn't the same. Well, and there are entire branches of AI that have nothing to do with generative stuff. It's not just a tool, it's a toolbox. There are a whole bunch of different things you can use AI for. For instance, AI for coding assistance is a huge deal. How do you steal shapes, though? Oh, I mean, there are a lot of sort of interesting questions around it. If a person does something that is clearly a copy or an inspired by some other piece of work, that's obviously not the same, but it has elements in it that are relevant, let's say. When I first got my hands on some of the generative stuff, one of the things I did was, out of curiosity, was tell it to, draw something in the style of certain comic book artists. The only reason you included the copy paste is because Google didn't want to cooperate with your highlighting. Well, yeah. As humans, we're all inspired by various things, and a human artist who deliberately copies something is obviously not displaying any specific creative talent. So drawing the lines for something like AI is going to be extraordinarily difficult. Is this one of the leapy? It's a leap. Not a very interesting one. Eat repulsor blasts. They're blueberry flavored. Oh, fine, we'll just lie. Enough beating up all of your minions. Let's go straight to Taskmaster. Making unique stuff, though, despite being shown. Yeah, you can... Prompt engineering is a thing. Am I out of range? That was annoying. Well, I'll just get up close and personal, as the saying goes. Oh, I was out of suit power. You can't have that. We'll finish him off with a couple more blasts. He learned his lesson. Sure. I think using the generative stuff has its place as well. An artist using it for inspiration. Feeding a specific, again, so much of it is prompt engineering. Feeding it a specific prompt. I mean, obviously it can be used for, I don't want to say evil, but it can be used abusively. But it's a tool. That was some pretty nifty flying, Tony. Thanks. I'm glad you appreciated my efforts. There are definitely uses that are wrong. If you were to, just use the generative stuff and put it out there as your own, especially if you specifically chose an inspiration. I want you to do a lion-based superhero in the style of Jack Kirby. That, for instance, that would be bad. As a music audio guy, you have friends who think it's evil. Again, it's down to use. All of them, all the musicians are using influences. It's not the same, but it's not entirely different either. So if you want give me a riff in the style of, or a combination of the styles of this artist and that artist, and it's a new riff, now obviously you can have something that sounds exactly like it's ripped off, and that's not good. But again, it's not about the tool, it's about the user of the tool. Would you get out of there, dude? And down goes the hood. Well, that sucked. Tony, don't taunt the supervillains. Come on. A lot of likeness in music would be like instrument choices. Abusing some theory. Music is one in particular that's difficult. We all copy Mozart.
Spider-Man, what trouble may I help you out of this time?
Maria Hill, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
As sort of an example, if you're familiar with, of all things, South Park's musical, for the movie that they did, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, so many of the songs in there are clearly stylistic ripoffs, where they've chosen a specific musical or a specific, musical composer, and they've written something in their style. That's an homage. That's clearly okay. But if they were doing something in your style, how would you feel about it? Since parody is protected, Weird Al can do his own version of anybody's song because parody is protected in the US. But he has almost always chosen not to. In at least one case, I know he released a song because he thought he had gotten approval, but he hadn't. So he's clearly copying, but it's legally protected. There's a lot of wiggle room. And I don't think inherently that just because you had a machine do something that a human could do, that doesn't necessarily make it wrong, but it is worth asking the question about specific instances. I think there are cases where it can be clearly wrong, clearly not a problem, and a whole lot of gray. A world of gray. That was more crafting items. No XP on that. I can't use it. It doesn't have XP. More crafting items. And I think I'm going to have to call it here. I need to get up and wander around, stretch out the back. I want to thank all of you for hanging out here. I really do. I mean that. I know all streamers say that, and sometimes I myself wonder, do they really mean that? Mostly I think we mean it. The master-specific recordings are where you can get in trouble. Most everything else is, yeah, it's hard to prove. A good musician can do something in the style of another musician. When does an homage become a ripoff? I should be back tomorrow at my usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. It's also possible I will be on earlier again, as I have been the last 2 days. Or I might start early. Also tomorrow at a later time at 8 p.m. Pacific, I will be almost certainly be doing a Guild Wars 2 raid, which I may or may not be streaming. Happens much like millions of times a year. Yeah. Because there's only so many note and chord progressions. Exactly. I'm not even music competent, but I am aware of that. And that's why you frequently get plagiarism, civil suits. It's because people accidentally, intentionally end up, I don't want to say copying, but rolling out something extremely similar. That's how you get Ray Parker Jr. having to give all the money from the Ghostbusters song to Huey Lewis in the News. He was found to have stolen the music. So, yeah, it can absolutely be done. Where I would assume you're sitting there and you're going, I really like this. Is this familiar? It sounds like it might be familiar. So I can see the nervousness that would be involved in trying to figure out, is this something I've heard before, or did I just come up with that? X song is song right, and I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, I can completely understand that happening too, especially in music, where inspiration comes from everywhere and you're never going to remember all of it. Again, thank you guys for hanging. I appreciate it very, very much. Hopefully you'll see me soon. So back at least once tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Maybe also back at 8 p.m., maybe also earlier. It's up in the air. Again, thanks guys for hanging. Hopefully you'll see me soon. I hope the rest of your Saturday evening or Sunday morning goes great. I hope your rest of your weekend kicks ass. You still got Sunday and the rest of today, so get out there and kick ass. Simple. Back tomorrow. Take care and ciao for now. Bye, guys.